Let me link over now to Newzroom Africa's reporter Nasiphi, who joins us live for more. Nasiphi, over to you, Mama. What is the situation on the ground?
Before we get to the situation, I think you rightfully put it, that Langa, established over a century ago, just last year, this particular informal settlement or a township in the Western Cape celebrated its centenary. And speaking to residents last year, many had hoped that it will see development and also create opportunities, being the oldest township in the Western Cape and one of the oldest in the country. And we'll just show you not only the political parties or party agents that are outside the station, but the queue that is inside, where people are making their way inside that voting station to cast that all-important vote for the general elections. And Langa on its own, we do understand that two of the wards here, or rather the community of Langa, is traditionally ANC ward, where ANC has had a sway in this community for the longest time. Langa also forms part of the City of Cape Town communities and the Cape Flats, as we do know that the Cape Flats areas and townships struggle, or rather are plagued by a number of social ills, from crime, from a lack of development, a lack of job opportunities and the like. So the people inside will be casting that all-important vote in the hope that come after or post-elections, their voices are heard through their X. And we will be moving to other parts of the city of Cape Town to see exactly how other people are voting, how the numbers are looking like, but also how people are feeling, as many have indicated that these particular elections, 30 years post-democracy, are watershed elections.
All right, thank you so much, Nasiphi. Of course, when we come back, we will be taking you to Sandton, where we'll be joined by another Newzroom Africa reporter, and then we'll take you to Kimberley. But now, let's take you to the Fleurhof Primary School in Johannesburg now, where the voting queue has extended over a kilometer as voters remain disgruntled with the slow progress. Newzroom Africa's Karinda Jagmohan joins us now for an update. Karinda, what is the latest on this case?
Certainly, good day to you. As we just take you along this voting queue, many of the voters here have been disgruntled, like you mentioned, because of the slow start to this day. What happened, according to some of the officials here, is that one of the machines, the scanners used to scan one's ID barcode, was not working, leaving this voting station, the Fleurhof Primary School, with only one scanner. As a result, this is the backlog that has occurred, where you see the line itself, the queue of voters, extending over 2 kilometers at this point, and many residents also disgruntled by not being able to actually continue on. Some saying they came here at 7 a.m. expecting to cast their vote just as the voting station opened, but then others saying that, well, now they've missed plans, they've got to continue on, and their day is somewhat wasted. So they're very disgruntled, even threatening to leave without casting their vote. Now, we did have some guests lined up, managed to make their way inside, but essentially the Fleurhof area was one of the areas where we saw a boom of migrants come in over recent years. There have been more developments as well. And so that essentially caused a rise in the number of registered voters. And as a result, you see the influx here, and perhaps many of the party officials saying they're upset with how this matter has been handled. But at this point, the line seems to be at least flowing, considering some of the machinery is back online. And we can actually maybe speak to some of the voters as well. So I'm going to just see if maybe one gentleman will be able to speak, or maybe the woman here. We are live on Newzroom Africa. Ma'am, can you just tell us, how long have you been waiting in this line for?
It's now going, 3 hours? 3 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours, yeah. Our feet are starting to be sore, but yeah, we're going to do it. We're ready, willing and able
Willing and able indeed. So you came here at about 7 o'clock, that means. Tell me about why you wanted to come here so early to cast your vote. Why is it important?
It is important because my voice needs to be heard. To get this country going forward. I have to make a mark for all the things that I want to see different and the changes.
Lastly, ma'am, for someone who's waited 3 hours in line, just a last question, please. What's your advice to others who don't want to come out at all?
Guys, it's a chance and a right and an obligation as a living being or a patriotic South African. Please come and vote. Let's do this.
Thank you so much. I caught you off guard. Thank you for chatting to me. There you go, one of the voters who said she's waited 3 hours, but she wanted to come do it. Even though her feet is sore, it's important to make her mark. It's an obligation as a citizen and another message sent to others. So that's just maybe encapsulating what some of the residents who maybe towards the back of the line are extremely frustrated, having also been here until from 7 a.m., hoping that they just slip into the voting station, cast their vote and be able to slip back out, enjoy their public holiday. Not the case for those who have been waiting for hours now here at the Fleurhof Primary School. Definitely something for the IEC officials to answer about is that essentially with regards to the assets that they have, what's working, and the delays that we are seeing at some voting stations, Fleurhof Primary just being one of the examples.
Thank you very much. So numbers are looking very promising in some parts of the Northern Cape, with more voters in townships coming out to make their mark. Let's now take you to Zola Sholwana, who's at Zingisa Primary School in Galeshewe Township. Zola, how's it looking like there?
Well, Masichaba, what I can tell you is that the numbers are promising this side compared to the last 2 days, as you'd understand that the IEC was very concerned about the voter turnout for special votes. But when you look at the crowd behind me, this voting station is expecting about 3,000 voters, and the people that we have seen so far are just under 200. But what most people are complaining about is that the queue is moving quite slow. But IEC officials have divided the queue into two, which is this voting station, the first line, and the second one, which is the substation, just to make sure that the queue moves quite faster, considering the fact that there are also people that are living with disabilities that are part of this group, and also the elderly. Let's speak to one of the voters who have casted their vote already. Mama, siyabulela ngexesha lakho, sowuvotile wena, uziva kanjani?
Hayi, ndiziva ndipholile. Andinaqhala ndivoyite kakuhle. Akange noko basigezela abantwana basityhale, aba bantwana basivotisayo basivotise kakuhle. Andiboni ityala nikisi.
Ufike ngabani ixesha wena?
Hayi, andifuni uxoka ndawo. Akudalanga ndifikile. Ndifike nje. Ndagqitha ndavota. Ngoku ndihlaliswe nini kule ndawo. Yokudala ndikwam.
Umama yintoni emenza into yobana eye yamenza uba makavuke kwakhe azovota namhlanje? Ufuna ubona ntoni?
Ndifuna ubona inguquko. Abantwana bethu bafumana imisebenzi. Abantwana bethu bagqibile ezikolweni, abantwana bahleli abanamisebenzi. Yiyo into siyenza ukuthi siphakame noba amadolo yoyisakala sivote.
Ndiyaqonda uba umakhulu akaqala uvota ngokwakhe wavota.
Andiqali yathi uqala kwam uMandela ke eqaleni sephume etrongeni sivota oko ndadlavota usuku kufikela namhlanje.
Uyaqinisekisa into yobana azikuphosi imini ezifana nezi?
Azindiphosi bayaya kum. Ngela xesha bendisakwazi uzihambela bese ndivuke ekuseni ndizizele. Kaloku muthi sivota sasegqibeleni sawuphelela sitheni. Noba soluphele kaloku abantwana bayakhula, izizukulwana nezizukulo. Sifuna sibonakale inkqubelo phambili.
Enkosi kakhulu mama ngexesha lakho. Well, Masishaba, that was one of the voters. Esugqibile mama, ungahambe enkosi kakhulu. That was one of the voters who has already casted a vote, saying that the process was quite smooth for her, as IEC officials made it easy for her. She was moved in front of the queue. She didn't even stay for that long. I just want to see if you can maybe engage with young people that are here and just find out, why they're looking forward to vote. Is there anyone that we can speak to who can tell us why they are here to vote? Sissy, thank you for your time. Why are you here today? Why did you decide to come and vote?
I really don't want to speak.
Okay. All right. So it looks like things are moving this side of the Northern Cape. The numbers are obviously growing as time goes on. The queue is moving, although it's moving at a snail pace. But IEC officials are promising that they will make sure that everyone that's within these perimeters does not leave this place without voting, as most of them have woken up from their homes in the early hours of the morning to make sure that they are in the front of the line. Back to you in studio.
All right, thank you so much for that update. And of course, as we are broadcasting live from the ROC, which is the Results Operations Center here in Midrand in Gauteng. So we'll definitely be crossing over to various parts of the country just to get a sense of how it's all going on the ground. Where are you voting? Make sure that you tweet us on our X page at Newzroom 405.